to another LinkedIn Water Cooler Talk episode. Today, joining me by the virtual water cooler is Marco Torres. Marco, thank you for spontaneously recording this episode with me today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on your show.
It's a pleasure. Marco, for anyone listening that does not know of you, can you give us a 1 to 2 sentence summary of who you are and what you do?
1 to 2 sentences. That's tough, but I'll try.
Try your best.
I am an internet marketer since 1996. So I've been around the internet, watched the entire evolution, and generated over $1 billion in sales in my career for my companies and my clients. And hopefully I can add a few value bombs today that your clients can take away and use.
Absolutely. So, on this casual water cooler talk episode, I have a question for you. What are you grateful for today?
Oh, great. Every morning, that's one of my first key things I do is stop and just smile from ear to ear and be grateful that I am still alive, for one, and that I have another day to enjoy. I've had open heart surgery, quadruple bypass, recently had to go back in and do some more checks. So I'm just, I'm passionate about what I do, but I'm grateful to step outside and enjoy some sunlight. And today, go swimming in the middle of the day.
Honestly, that's so amazing though, because a lot of people they forgot to take that moment out of their day and realize that it is a blessing to wake up and do what you love. But I think it's hard for those who maybe don't really enjoy what they love. It's harder to have that gratitude. And was there any point in your life that you had to make that shift from what you were doing day to day? Maybe you didn't like the job or the career you were in, and you decided to kind of jump in and do what you're so passionate about now?
Well, not really. I've enjoyed what I do for many years, but what I have recently, I've always had an anger management issue and still do sometimes. My wife's always like, "You need help." but what I'm learning is, especially recently, as I had, when I found out I had to do another heart catheterization and still have blockages. Anyway, it made me realize, wait a minute, man, you got to slow down. Life doesn't, it's too short for any aggravation. And what I'm trying to learn and put into place every day is I realize that I can't be grateful and mad at the same time. So if I can keep the gratitude attitude, then the little things that usually annoy the heck out of me, like the computer's not working right, the software isn't functioning, and the phone doesn't work. I get typically those kind of things are what really set me off, and just have to realize, chill and be make sure the gratitude attitude is bigger than the aggravations of daily life.
No, absolutely. It's just important to know we all get frustrated in our day to day. We can feel overwhelmed, and that kind of mindset can impede our growth and what we're trying to achieve for the day. And it's really not so great too if you are trying to be a leader in your industry too, because it does have that negative effect and rub off. So that awareness is key and really important. Speaking of that awareness, I'm curious, is there anything that you've learned in the last week that you're really excited about and that you are going to try to implement moving forward?
Well, I launched a campaign in the last couple of weeks, so more than just 1 week. But I started using a product called UpViral. It's a software application where you can create campaigns, drive a Facebook ads to it, and they help process the contests and the giveaways and the viral portion of it. And I'm thrilled with it. It's working quite well. And so I'm happy and grateful that one of my newest campaigns is just rocking and rolling real well on using my own incentives as the prize. We'll get into that if you let me later. But
Yeah.
using the UpViral software was a nice add-on.
Well, I mean, we can definitely get into it. I think any tool or resource for marketers to know and learn is super important since the industry online is always changing, always evolving. So, yeah, feel free to share more.
Right. Well, the business I'm most passionate about now, what I do is I have a company called marketingboost.com. And what we do is we're a subscription model. We provide business owners around the world we give them the wow, surprise, and delight factor. We give you the adult Happy Meal that you can use to stand out from the crowd to be able to enhance your offers with additional value versus discounting, for example. And we do that by providing travel incentives, 3 different categories of incentives, one being complimentary hotel stays in over 125 destinations around the world, from 3-night stays in all over the US, places like Miami, Atlanta, Las Vegas, Orlando, Branson, New York City, you name it, 30 destinations in the US, internationally, 7-night stays in places like Phuket, Thailand, and Bali, 5-night stays in Cancun and Cabo San Lucas, Punta Cana. And then we have hotel savings cards. They come in increments of $1, $2, $3, and $500. And they're good at 1 million hotels worldwide and save compared to buying on retail, and restaurant savings vouchers. So then what we do is we teach you, as a member, as a subscriber, you get access to give away as many of these as you want, but we teach you how to position these with your offer, how to disclose, disclose the disclaimers that are of course involved, and then use them to, in a myriad of ways, everything from lead generation, like I'm doing on UpViral, from lead generation to loyalty programs, to soliciting more reviews. I can go on. There's a million case studies of how we have over 22,000 members and a Facebook page with 54,000 followers, another one with 28,000 members, where we're teaching people how to grow their business using, with the help of incentives. We're just one of the tools. I mean, we're not the magic bullet to solve your marketing problems, but we're one tool that can be added to create that leverage, to leverage you, and look like a big player in the industry, compete with the big boys by having a very high perceived value incentives added to your offers.
Yeah, another incentive that I think comes to mind is something that I try to do, like after my podcast that I have, Bippity Boppity Business. I try to offer the guests a gift for being on the show after the fact, in hopes that we can continue relationship building moving forward. So I think incentive marketing can be just another part of one of your touch points as you move your client through the sales process or whatever funnel that you've built for them. So it's interesting to see and hear that you only you've niched down and specialized into this category of marketing. How did you find this niche for yourself, and why are you so passionate about it?
Well, that's a great question, and thanks for asking. It came about as kind of an accident. We were in the travel space. My partners and I have been in the travel space since the mid 2000s, 2010. We launched our own travel business, and it was growing really, really well. But early on, we kept thinking to ourselves, if we only had more video testimonials from our happy travelers when they were at the resorts, the beaches, the pools, the bar. And we were scratching our heads going, what could we do to motivate people to film a selfie video from the beach, the pool, the bar? And if they did that, we could, we knew we would be able to leverage that into thousands of additional sales. But we're like, how can we get people to do it? And we came up with an idea to give them a bonus trip. So here's by the way, this is a huge takeaway, Rita, that anybody listening can use with whatever business you're in. We started doing a survey when we expected our client to be at the peak of their happiness, which in our case was like the day of or day after check-in. And we'd send them an automated email and text message campaign saying, hey, how's the hotel? By now you've checked in. How's the hotel living up to your expectations? How's our service been so far? How would you rate us from 1 to 5? And if they gave us a 4 or 5, then we would immediately send them back messages. Wonderful. We're glad you're having a great time. Would you do us a huge favor and help us spread the word about this hotel brand and our brand? And if you would go the extra mile and film a selfie video testimonial from the resort, the beach, the pool, the bar, whatever your favorite spot is, and brag about their brand and ours, we'll reward you with a complimentary hotel stay on us. And the video reviews started coming in. So now we had, dozens and then hundreds, and then we're posting them all over our website, all over our social media. We had our social proof that we wanted. We were leveraging that into thousands of additional sales. And today we have over 30,000 video testimonials, more than any other travel website in the world. And then we thought to ourselves, wait, back up. Then all these people started raising their hands, of course, saying, where's our free trip? We want to use that free stay in Orlando or Las Vegas. And so now we were having to pay out of pocket to give these people those free rooms that we had promised. So
Yeah.
now we're like, how could we bring that cost down? So we went back to those hotel partners and said, hey, we've got an idea for you. You've got a problem and we can solve it. One, your hotel is never full. Let's be truthful here. You fill up on certain weekends, of course, holidays, peak season, special events. But the majority of the year, 70% of the year, 30% of your rooms are going empty. Yet you still have all the same fixed costs, your mortgage, your front desk staff, your maintenance crews, all that stuff. And they agreed. So we said, look, if we can put warm bodies in those rooms, couples, families, individuals, they'll spend money at the restaurant, the bar, the casino, the spa, the gift shop, the excursion desk, the book extra nights, etc. And they agreed to give us a shot. So we got a few hotels in Orlando and Vegas to participate. And now we could fulfill all those trips we were giving away without costing us anything. And we thought to ourselves, can you imagine if we had hundreds of hotels worldwide doing this? We'd have another standalone business. And that is eventually what became today marketingboost.com, where we created a win-win-win. It's a win for the resorts because they're helping fill, they're generating some revenue versus none on rooms that would have otherwise gone empty. It's a win for the resort, our Marketing Boost members, because they're getting these very high perceived value vacations in amazing destinations around the world. Beautiful, sometimes 4 and 5 star hotel, mostly all 4 and 5 TripAdvisor review hotels to be part of the program. And it's a win for the Marketing Boost member, and it's a win for the consumer who receives the incentive, the bonus, the reward for whatever the call to action was, because now they're traveling at pennies on the dollar. And of course, they don't include airfare, they don't include food and beverage, and they don't include the government taxes. So that's got to be paid by the consumer. But other than that, that's how we created this amazing and reinvented the travel incentive business.
What I'm hearing is really cool from you, because instead of giving up on the industry that you were in, saying, it's outdated, we're not making money, you sat down with your team or whoever, and you were like, how can we innovate this? How can we transform our product or service to be a better fit for the market as we move forward, as things are changing? And in addition to that kind of thought process, you had to pitch too. So do you have any pitch advice? Because you sound like you're really good at doing sales pitches.
Well, I have been in sales since I was 9 years old.
Wait,
So
how was since you were 9? What do you mean?
I started a paper route at age 9 and was featured at age 12 on the front page of the newspaper for having built the biggest paper route they'd ever seen. And I did that by leveraging two things here, a takeaway for everybody listening: leveraging relationships. Grant Cardone says, if your net worth is not growing, it's time to change your network. And so in my case, way back at age 9, I didn't know I was doing this at the time, but I was recruited my friends to help me deliver the papers at 6 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning, so that I could focus on what I enjoyed, which was knocking on doors and selling the subscription and going back for collections. Back then, there was no internet for payments. I had to learn how to do spreadsheets and go door to door and make sure who still owes me money and collect and so on, and deliver the papers in the morning. It was
you're like driven from some people are just born entrepreneurs, I think. Would you say
I
you
think
had
so.
that?
It just says something that you want to get up out of bed and do something. And well, I was getting up real early back.
Back to that comment that you said earlier with the Grant Cardone quote. Do you have any networking advice or tips? Have you seen any trends or things that you've done to help grow your network, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or online, that you think would be really helpful to anyone listening?
I think Facebook groups are fantastic. I have helped many of my clients using, and not to keep plugging incentives, but they do work. I've had many of my clients grow their Facebook groups by using, in addition to doing all kinds of things that you need to do, but they've added incentives, our travel incentives, as contests every week that they'll run. And they've grown, some of them have grown their groups. One of them, I think of immediately, a guy named Corey Richard. He went from 0 to 10,000 followers in his Facebook group in less than 90 days. by doing these giveaway contests and asking everybody who joined the group, hey, if you share this with your friends and relatives, for everybody who joins or you share this with, you get another chance to win. And so every week, this week it was Vegas, next week Orlando, the following week Myrtle Beach. And so he did this on and on and on, make a big deal out of whoever won, go live on Facebook. And but the point is, the Facebook groups, I have my main Facebook group has over 28,000 members. We're in there, we're providing content, we're providing quality information, we're inviting them to, we're building that relationship, that like and trust relationship, so that they can, when I invite them to my webinars, my live events, my trainings, what have you, they're coming in and eventually they're becoming customers. And so, and then of those customers, many of them become friends. Then we put on live events, and then the networking continues to grow, as many of those people will do lunch and learns, and I'll travel around the country and invite them from my Facebook group. Hey, I'm going to be in Miami next week, and I'm getting people to, in-person meetings. And those relationships have, started on Facebook, and many of them are in-person, deep, business partners and relationships now that can be done. Obviously, you can do that anyway with just your Facebook profile, of course, as well.
Yeah.
But the Facebook group marketing, I think, is something that many people aren't doing and could be.
And I don't have much experience with the Facebook side, which is why it's cool you can speak to that. But for me, LinkedIn, I know that there's only out of all the percentage of people that are on the platform, only 1% are currently LinkedIn creators. So taking some of the skills that from Facebook or any other platform and trying to reapply them to the LinkedIn platform, some things might be a little different, but for the most part, it really is just getting in on the game sooner than later.
You're right. And you brought that up before we started recording about, and I'm on LinkedIn, and I do have about 3,500 followers there, but I have not been really focused on making LinkedIn a big part of my business. So opportunity, as you say, I need to work on that next.
Opportunity, but that's okay, because we all, like, you've been doing this for so many years. I mean, I can't even imagine just how cool it must be to see how everything has transformed, like the landscape, the industry, like the digital media and all of that. Like, what part of you watching that, like if you could go back and tell yourself, like, this is what the industry is going to be like, would have blown your mind back then, with what you know now?
I would have bought stock in Amazon before.
You're like, buy stock at Amazon. What are you doing, Marco?
It's like, if I would have only known, I would have been freaking buying everything I could have, sold everything for Amazon. But, speaking of Amazon, let me point out something, because I love talking about adding value versus discounting and savings. Let's talk about Amazon for a second. They are the biggest example of this in the world. Jeff Bezos is one of the richest men in the world. And one of the things he did to grow that business beyond belief, right, was he created Amazon Prime, and then said, if you buy Amazon Prime, you get free shipping. So most of us bought Amazon Prime, didn't even, at the time when he first launched that, many of us were not even into streaming video, but we were buying Amazon Prime, whatever that includes, for $97 a year, so that we could get the free shipping, which was the incentive. And then what? Now that we had the free shipping, we're stuck, or we are loyal to Amazon. Now we're coming back. If we're going to buy anything, we're thinking about, well, I could buy it directly from Macy's, but let me see if Amazon has that. Let me, and save the shipping, because I'm already an Amazon Prime member. Then you found out it included videos and everything else, and you're like, well, that's cool, but I love the free shipping. And so that concept, what can you do with your business to bring added value? What incentive can you add? All kinds of studies have been proven to show that people respond better to a value add incentive, whether that's a buy one, get one, and add value, adding extra units of your own, networking with as I mentioned earlier, leveraging your network. You might be able to say, I'm a business coach. If you buy, 3 months with me, you're also getting a 1-hour session with my associate over here, who's an expert in this area. And so then now you'll do the same for him. You can leverage each other's expertise as part of your packaging. and add value just versus just trying to be the cheapest on the block. And that might be as simple as, selling some, adding somebody else's course with your course, adding an hour of coaching with somebody else to when they hire you, and you do the same for him, so that you've got, on and on and on, over and above, of course, marketing boost incentives as well. Another plug.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you do all of that and have an amazing personal brand online, and you can tell your story in a compelling and interesting way from like the podcasting perspective. I mean, like you said, it's not a one size fits all. It's really a full package deal, but like that's that one more kind of like pillar to like knock down to get closer to your goals for either clients or business relationships, or for your own personal goals too. That's a really cool study and mindset for everyone listening. Like, what are you doing already that you can make better, add value, increase that incentive to get people to want to stay, because there is a lot of competition out there. So yeah, I guess you're right. Jeff Bezos might be a lot smarter than we give him credit for. He must be at least some kind of level of intelligent if he's like the richest man on earth, right? So maybe we should learn one or two
Between
things
him and
from
Elon Musk, yeah, I don't know who's got more, but they're
I
up
don't
there.
know.
So.
They're up there. So I have another question to round out with you here. So, we've talked about some really cool business tactics, marketing suggestions at our water cooler. We've talked about, a little bit about your entrepreneurial self when you were younger. Let's talk about the future. Like, what do you think you're looking forward to learning or doing in the future, either for yourself or for your business?
Well, one thing I will say that I love about the current situation and where we are today is it's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur than right now. There's never been so many opportunities, so much digital technology available affordably. There's so many tools available, whether for your CRM platforms, your emailing, texting, voicemail broadcasting, organizing it all in easy, simple CRMs. There's website builders, funnel builders. I mean, it's just amazing what you can do for very, little investment compared to what it was when I got involved in the internet in 1996, when you had to learn, HTML coding and so on. So there's never been a better time. One, two, the world is, because of that, it's also the world's getting smaller and smaller. So it's so easy to hire experts smarter than you somewhere else in the world or in your own backyard to help you get the job done. And I think one big mistake many marketers, entrepreneurs make is they want to do it all themselves. And
Right.
they think small with the mentality of, well, I can't afford to hire anybody, so I won't. So I got to learn it all. So I'm going to teach myself everything. And then you become an expert at nothing. So what I really recommend is outsourcing. In other words, is anything you do over and over every day, if you're doing it over and over, that means you should be able to turn that into a business process and outsource it to somebody. And as soon as you do that, hire someone to do that step. Now you're looking at your business from a little higher up, and you're making bigger decisions about growing your business. Who do I need to talk to next? Where's the next opportunity? Where do we pivot and move from here? And you can't do that when you're all bogged down into doing every minute part of your business. So build business processes and step up, think big, and go ahead and gamble on hiring the right people. It starts with one virtual assistant, and then eventually you'll have, I've got, over 150 people that work with me in different parts of the world. And I have staff in India, staff in the Philippines, staff in Pakistan. I've got people in Australia, South America. So we operate 24 hours a day. And of course, a lot of people in the US. And so it little by little becomes a machine if you can think big.
Think big. We have a lot of technology. We have a lot of resources, like you said. And as the future for your business and many of our businesses start to evolve, that's only going to increase. So instead of working in your business, start working on your business and make your business work for you. Don't work for it. That's what I'm kind of getting from what you're saying.
Exactly right. Absolutely. My
Awesome.
next step, you asked what I'm going to do next, is I'm going to be traveling even more over the next couple of years, I hope. And so I expect to be, more of a laptop lifestyle and bouncing around to different parts of the world and continuing to manage the business. I'm launching a podcast of my own pretty soon, which I'm very excited about. And I'll be interviewing a lot of experts like you do. So I'm trying to follow in your steps, Rita. And
Thank you.
but the purpose of me doing that is to, like you, to bring these content, bring these experts, bring these powerful minds to my ecosystem, to my community, and continue to give them and feed them with motivation and techniques and tips on exactly what they should be doing in building their successful business. And of course, hopefully they'll keep using Marketing Boost services as well. So
Well, absolutely. And while you're traveling, if you find any cool places, let me know. Maybe I'll check it out myself. But if anyone wants to learn more about you and connect with you and what you're doing, Marco, what is the best way for them to do that?
just go to marketingboost.com, and we have a link there to our Facebook group, which is free with over 28,000 members, and a free trial that you can get so that you can check out what Marketing Boost can do for your business. I would recommend give yourself all of the incentives free. Give yourself a free trip, and I promote Cancun. Give yourself a trip to Cancun first. We have a AAA 4-diamond resort on the beach, 15 bars and restaurants. So you can give yourself the complimentary hotel stay in Cancun. You do have to pay, no airfare is not included, food and beverage not included. You have to pay the government taxes, around $30 a night or whatever. And can go and enjoy an amazing destination. Once you see how it works, you might find yourself wanting to use these incentives for your business. So,
well, if you guys find me in Cancun for the next podcast episode, you know exactly what happened. It'll be because of this guy. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. This was LinkedIn Water Cooler Talk. Have a great day. Thank you.